Man, welcome back to the Nabers Dynasty podcast. Back at it again, doing what we do, talking the fake stuff, talking Dynasty, talking everything. We talking all football, you know. During the week, this will be our second episode of us doing one of these kind of episodes, and then we dropped that gambling one yesterday. So 3 episodes this week. Crap, man, what's going on, man?
Oh, man, I'm excited. It's Friday night. I can't wait for Sunday. There's a lot of good games on this weekend, but I was going to say, man, you got that intro down. Didn't you say we were getting close to like 200 episodes at this point?
Oh, yeah. Creeping up on it. I think it's like 190 or something like that. 191. It's something like that. We up there.
Time flies, but Ian, what you got going on? We got old Slim Easy in the building.
What up, party pooper here. Hit a shit on all you parade. You know, Mac new haircut, but it's subpar. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Matt's haircut. We're here to talk about fantasy football. The thing
we looking fresh.
I know you look fresh. I just got to take you down a notch because you're so fresh. But if you looked as good as your team is, you would look like Austin. So
that's right.
Let's do it, guys. It's good.
I am in an average Joe's at redraft league with these two guys.
Yep.
And my team is banged up. Mama be scratching and clawing to get me some wins in that league.
Luckily, I got off McCaffrey, man. That was a good general manager, but I don't know if I could. Anyway, let's go get the thing going, cuz.
Now you got rid of McCaffrey. That's what you said, right? You got rid of McCaffrey. McCaffrey's been traded a lot in that league. Like, you got rid of McCaffrey, then I get McCaffrey. And tell me what y'all think about that trade, man. Did you post that on Twitter, Matt? What did the Twitter folks say about it?
Dang, I have not. I should. But the thing is I thought it was even, but I'm just gonna be real. I'm starting to get skeptical of Christian McCaffrey even playing football this year.
That's the thing about that trade. Excuse me. It doesn't matter because Jordan Mason. You still have Jordan Mason, and he's the number 2. Sorry, guys. He's the number 2 running back in the league, I believe. I mean, you could probably check the stats, but he's a great running back, and he's got a great offensive line, so it's really not a bad trade. And then if Christian McCaffrey comes back, you got that for your playoff run or whatnot. So I think, what'd you trade, James White for him?
James Cook for Mason and McCaffrey. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how the trade went in the other league. I got Derrick Henry for just McCaffrey, but he already had Jordan Mason. So if you're trading, if you have Jordan Mason, it's a good idea to go get McCaffrey. I would, but Jordan Mason is a solid guy. So I think you're going to be good with that. James White.
This is redraft. James Cook, you keep talking about James White from the Patriots back in the day.
What am I doing?
Hey, what you call it? This is redraft, half PPR, all that good stuff. 12-man. So yeah, and basically what they said, the trade was CMC and Jordan Mason for James Cook, who's been going off. Kraft's guy right there. I
do like Mason. I really like James Cook. I didn't want to get rid of him, but I just got this soft spot in my heart for McCaffrey, and I probably shouldn't. He's just, every time I have him, he don't do shit, and every time I don't have him, it's kind of like when somebody tells you, like, like you can sit in any chair in this house, but you can't sit in that chair. Like, you want that chair. You want to sit in that chair.
Right.
So that's the way I feel about McCaffrey. It's like I just see him going off on people's teams all the time. And I'm like, I know what he can do if he gets on the field. And then I get Jordan Mason. But as of right now, James Cook's RB5 on the season. And the last 2 games, the Bills have only played one half of football, so it could even be better. And then Jordan Mason is at RB12 right now. So, they're only about 8 points apart through 3 weeks. So it's not that big a difference. But, I do think one thing I thought about James Cook was, He's not really. He hasn't been like a touchdown machine. And this year he has. He's got 4 touchdowns in 3 games. I'm not real sure that that's gonna keep going. If I had to place my bet, I would say that Jordan Mason has better odds of getting in the end zone every week than Cook. But Cook's got better, receiving chops than Mason.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Buffalo definitely passes the most in the red zone too. And I mean, Jordan Mason is definitely getting those passes, but yeah, I agree. James Cook is going to get some of those passes, but Jordan Mason, I feel like, has a better touchdown upside.
So, Ian, you think CMC plays again this year?
I do. I think he plays. I think he plays at the end of the year. It just depends on how their season goes, but when it comes to fantasy purposes, it sucks, man. It sucks for me. I drafted him, so I mean, I had to already start wheeling and dealing off the rip. But yeah, I think he plays, but I wouldn't count on it until way later.
Kraft, he playing again? I'm skeptical.
I think he plays, but I think it's gonna be like November. So you're probably talking like week 11 or so. And I mean, what I really want to see is before the fantasy playoffs, I just want him to play. If I got Mason and Mason stays healthy, I just want to see what the split looks like when he gets back. Like, is he fully healthy? Are they going to split it 60-40 with Mason and him to ease him in? And then just give that a couple weeks and then see, if I'm super comfortable starting McCaffrey as like an RB1 or the RB1 at the end of the year. So and if it is 60-40 or something, I might can play both of them, like David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs type situation.
But would we all be in agreement that the worst thing that could possibly happen is when McCaffrey gets healthy, that they end up being like a 50-50 split? How would you approach that?
I mean, like I said, I would probably start both of them because their offensive line's so good and their offense is so good. But it wouldn't be ideal. I would rather have just one be the whole thing, and that's why even if McCaffrey doesn't come back, I think Mason a full year for James Cook full year is somewhat equal.
So would you trade one of them, or how would you go? Would you rather have one and try to trade the other, and if you did, which one would you want to trade?
I mean, I'd have to see it. I'd have to see it like I said, like if McCaffrey comes back and then I see 2 weeks of like them splitting carries 60-40 or whatever, then Mason could definitely be on the block after that, or even McCaffrey. But I'm just taking the chance that McCaffrey is like fully healthy. Because we're when it gets like week 9, week 10, everybody's like, all right, I need to start trading for players that have a good fantasy, like a good playoff schedule. And that's the way I look at it. If McCaffrey comes back, I don't even care if he comes back in week 12. Like, just give me 1 week before the fantasy playoffs to see what the split looks like. And if he comes in and plays 70% of the snaps, shit, McCaffrey's in there.
Right. Okay. Cool. I was just wondering. No, that was a good take.
All right, man. Let's slide it over to another one. Because I've been hearing a lot of chattering and chirping. Crap, man. Just think about whatever your tier 1 dynasty wide receivers. Just think about whatever that is. I've been hearing some people are saying we're talking about some big name people too. Talking about Malik Nabers, number 1 dynasty wide receiver. And I was thinking about that. People saying that right now, and I was thinking that just ain't how the crew rolls. I feel like, and I just wanted to see what Craftman thought, because I'm just thinking right now. Number 1, this dude's not even in my tier 1 yet, but he's up there. I'm gonna give him his credit now. I'm gonna give him a ton of credit. Number 1 though seems a little bit extreme. I would probably put him. Whoever I had in my top 4, Amon-Ra, Jamar, Justin Jefferson, CD. I would take them 4 still, and then maybe at the top of my tier 2 might be Malik Nabers. Maybe you could talk me into it.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, I want to take it right here because I mean I get it because we are low on rookies, but rookies a lot come into Dynasty, and Malik Nabers is not attached to a really good offense, but it looks a lot to me like a Justin Jefferson type deal where Minnesota was all right. They just needed that one thing to put him over the top. This kid's already got 52 targets. I mean, uh, only three touchdowns, but almost 400 yards after 4 weeks.
Only 3 touchdowns
I
in
mean,
4 weeks.
I guess
Hey, I'm looking at it right here. I'm looking at it right there through 4 weeks. He got 7 targets week 1, then 18 targets, 12 targets, and 15 targets. This dude is the wide receiver 1, number
yes.
1 player overall. I mean, I
He's
know
played
it's
one more game than some
Yeah.
players, but still, he's like 20 points ahead.
going
still.
off. So
There's an
I'm
argument to be made. There's definitely an argument to be made for Malik Nabers.
but hold on, I got another one though. I don't even know if I really would rank him ahead of Marv yet. I think I might would keep Marv ahead of Malik Nabers. Staying true to the process.
I agree to that.
I mean, they're neck and neck to me. I don't really care if you have Malik over Marv during the rookie process. I think me and you, Matt, for sure. We like both of their talents about equal, but we sided with Marvin Harrison going to the Cardinals, playing with Kyler, and I
Right.
guess we'll probably keep it like that now. But the way Dayball's running that offense, this all the way through Malik Nabers. And one thing that I do like about Malik Nabers that is different than Marvin Harrison is I feel like he is a little bit more versatile, where you can move him into the slot, you can play him outside. Like he's your typical CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. I feel like Marvin Harrison is a little bit more of an outside X receiver where
Right.
he's just going to play on the outside a lot, and defenses can scheme Marvin Harrison out a little easier than they could Malik Nabers, because Nabers can be moved all over the formation. So, I mean, as of right now, I do think Malik Nabers should be barely ahead of Marv, but just barely. And if I had to redo my rankings today, I think with the Puka Nacua injury, because I was pretty high on Puka, I think you definitely put Malik Nabers over A.J. Brown, and
Yeah.
I think that's where he belongs right now. Jamar Chase, I mean, well, we'll see how he does the rest of the season. I think the Bengals are going to be fine on offense, not as a team, but on offense, I think they're going to be fine. So I'm not really freaking out about Chase that much.
Nah.
But I wouldn't put him ahead of them guys yet. But it's close, man. He's like, I'd love to have him. I would trade a lot to get him before it gets way out of whack.
Man. Yeah.
No, I agree. And going back to what you said about the difference in play styles with Malik Nabers and Marvin Harrison Jr. Because I was listening to some other analysts, and they were saying the same thing you were saying, but they were all in agreement, and I agree too, that he has that natural talent to overcome, just like a Justin Jefferson. Even though he's getting that streak route, that double team, all that stuff, he's still making plays with that being the case. And so I think Malik Nabers' ability to move all around the field makes them very different players, but also puts them on the same level. And I think Marvin Harrison's talent is better, but Malik Nabers is a better all around player. And I'm very interested to see where it goes, but I agree. I think I would rather trade for Marvin Harrison right now than Malik Nabers, mainly because of the team and the offense. Honestly, if Malik Nabers was there, I would go for him.
Well, I kind of see, like, to compare the two, Marvin Harrison is more like the Jamar Chase. Like, you're going to have massive weeks, and you don't see Jamar Chase get moved all over the formation as much as you do, like, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, these guys that play in the slot a little bit more. That's the way I look at Marvin Harrison. Malik Nabers, I look more like Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, same.
So they could both still be really high, but
Of course.
I think Nabers is probably going to be the more consistent player. But Marvin Harrison might have them big spike weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can get on board with that. All right, I want to stick to wide receivers, dynasty wise, because let's move over to Garrett Wilson. Because while Malik Nabers is up there real high, people, talking him up real big. Garrett Wilson's, after all this time, people are starting to come around to. I was already sort of skeptical to begin with, but I'm starting to get to where I want to fade him in my dynasty rankings. So Craftman, what's up with your dynasty rankings? Where'd you have Garrett Wilson at? I had him in that tier 2 for sure.
Yeah, I had him at number 8 behind AJ Brown. So it was like Marvin Harrison. This is before the season. So Marvin Harrison, then Puka, and then AJ Brown, then Garrett Wilson. And I had Malik Nabers at number 12 behind Jalen Waddle. But that's Nabers has risen up, and Garrett Wilson's definitely behind. I mean, this might be recency bias, but if you think about the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and the continuity that he's going to have, I wouldn't mind trading Garrett Wilson just straight up for Rashee Rice. And I think Nico Collins has done jumped him too.
Hey, I was just about to get over here and say, I swear to God, I'll take Nico Collins over Garrett Wilson. But I'm saying if we're talking about guys like that, then how far are we dropping this man Garrett Wilson in the dynasty record?
Right now in dynasty season stats, if you go by how many points they've scored on the season, Garrett Wilson is at the wide receiver 35 between Amari and Mike Evans. I mean, I know that doesn't have to bring in the dynasty where being young and this, that, and the other, but he's got 26 targets, 15 receptions, 1 touchdown, and 150 yards.
About 50 yards a game.
It's tough, man. There's argument to be had right now. I mean, Garrett Wilson is definitely a prolific talent with a MVP quarterback, but yeah, man, it's
we getting in that Jerry Jeudy territory.
I don't think I would.
I don't.
We
going
down Jerry Jeudy lane. I'm just being honest.
Drake.
I'll take Drake London. I'll take Drake London over Garrett Wilson.
Whoa.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but
I mean, he's already outplaying him this year, just this season.
He scored some touchdowns, man. Darnell Mooney is actually the leading receiver yards wise on that team right now.
Adam Lazard is the leading receiver with the Jets.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, what has Garrett Wilson really done? This man is. I mean, listen, I ain't trying to put him in that Jerry Jeudy lane, but
should we start looking at him as just like DJ Moore?
So let me ask you this. Going off of that, would you rather have?
That's a good question, Craig.
Brian Thomas, or Garrett Wilson?
I mean, that's easy. Yeah, that's
I'll
easy.
take Garrett Wilson for me.
But going off the stats, I mean, this year, the kid's 21. He's got 189 yards already on 17 targets. But I feel that over Garrett Wilson. It's
too early.
Well, Kraft, go down your list. Where does it stop? I mean, where do I?
Well, if I was redoing my rankings based off what I've seen this year, Garrett Wilson or Devontae Smith.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I would like Devontae Smith. I got him on a team though, so
I'm worried about Wilson because of the quarterback play in the future. That's what I do think that Garrett Wilson's going to be probably a top. I think he's going to be a top 12 receiver this season in redraft. But after that, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Garrett Wilson is going to be. I think he's going to be fine. He's got the natural talent. It's just they got to get shit rolling. I think once they get it rolling, we're going to be having a completely different conversation. We're going to be like, what were we thinking? But right now, the looks of it, it's questionable.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I mean, you get on Prize Picks every week, and I'm sitting there looking at Garrett Wilson, and I'm like, 65 yards? Like, I think he can get that. And then I go look at Rashee Rice. He's at 75.5. I look at Nico. He's at 80.5. Justin Jefferson at 90. CeeDee Lamb at almost 90. And it's like, Vegas don't think that much of him. Like he's down there with like the Amari Coopers and stuff like that this year, where if you're betting on him, 65.5 yards ain't a prolific, receiver.
No, and it's not. But I think it can become that. I think it will become that. I just think it's going to take some time, and it's going to take another receiver there that's pulling some fucking aggro. I mean, Allen Lazard is what Allen Lazard is, and if he keeps doing what he's doing, then he will start pulling. They will start having to switch up what they're doing, but they're just putting it all on Garrett Wilson, and Rodgers has always been known to throw the ball all around the field, anyways. So Garrett he's going to get his, but I don't know if it's going to be to the volume of Jefferson or somebody like that. I mean, it's hard to say, or even Rashee Rice. I mean, like you said, I mean, he's connected to the best quarterback in the league, and yeah, dude, I don't think you can get rid of him right now. But
gotta hold him. You can't sell him.
I do agree with what N said though. Like I have Jamar Chase, and when T. Higgins plays, I feel a lot more comfortable with Chase. I'm like, thank God T. Higgins is back on the field, so that Jamar Chase can get some one-on-one looks and score a big touchdown. Like the Jets need another guy. If they brought in, like, I don't want them to bring in like a target hog, but if they brought in like a decent number 2 that could take some attention away. But as of right now, I mean, even after last game, they asked him why Garrett Wilson ain't getting targeted that much, and Rodgers just like, I'm not going to throw it to the guy who's getting double teamed all the time.
Yeah. Well, as we see Garrett Wilson fading a little bit, we see the rise of old Nico Collins. And me and you took Nico Collins in that startup. I can't remember what round it was in.
About it.
Oh, man, maybe one of our best picks. And now we're sitting here tonight. I'm sitting here thinking, damn, how far has Nico Collins went up the... I mean, even when we gamble, check out our gambling every week. Check out our little gambling episodes. And if you look in the description, you got them. Nico Collins, whatever his lines are, always feel like some of the most confident bets to play every week, man.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
It's automatic.
That was such a hard decision because I know me and Cousin were talking about it all the time, off and on, about because you wanted a piece of that offense, but you did not know which receiver to pick, man. And it's clearly Nico Collins now, and the people that were able to do it did it right. But it was hard to tell, man. But we should have known, should have known.
Well, what's the deal with him? I mean, how far are we moving this guy up? Kraft, man, with your drunk ass. I mean, how far?
We got him now.
I'm saying, is this, dynasty wise, is this guy top 12? Is this guy top 10? Is this guy top 8?
He's top 7.
Top 8.
Oh man, Kraft, give me the top. All right, so we got the tier 1. You got. Go ahead.
I'll give you it now, right now. All right, so you got Jefferson, CD, Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase. We're at 4, and then you got Malik Nabers, and then I would put Nico Collins right there at 6, above AJ Brown again. And this is not an anti-AJ Brown, but I think that Nico Collins is that type of AJ Brown receiver who's just big and can't be stopped. I mean, you can't play man-to-man against Nico Collins. He's just killing you with them dig routes, and his yards per reception is off the charts. He's going to break a long one almost every other game. And he's younger than A.J. Brown. So I'll look at him and Brown close to the same. But I think C.J. Stroud's a better passer. He's unsigned like a 3-year deal with him. They got a steal for that, by the way. That's why you go ahead and lock your receivers down early.
Yeah. What they pay for Nico? Do you know?
It was. I mean, I don't have it off the top of my list. I'm sure.
You think like range or something? 20 million a year?
Like 25 a year or so, something like that.
Yeah, that's a steal for. He's gonna be good. And then in the 3 years, you'll figure it out. And if he's worth it, he's worth it. But yeah, you got him for cheap.
I think he'll be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Him connected with C.J. Stroud. I mean, you're right, man. If you're in a dynasty startup, man, this dude's going super high, man. And we got CD and Nico. Let's go, crap, man. That's how we roll, man.
Hey, I wouldn't mind, like, if you want to just go ahead and call your shot somewhat early to come off of one of them top 4 receivers and get Nico Collins and something else, like, to help you win this year. Like, if you're competing, I could definitely see, like, Nico Collins being a top 5 receiver this year, and then you get an older piece like a Alvin Kamara or a Derrick Henry and trade, the untouchables, the CeeDee Lambs, the Jamar Chase. Like, if you're competing this year, you wouldn't trade Jamar Chase for Nico Collins and Alvin Kamara. I mean,
we're talking dynasty, right?
Yeah,
talking
dynasty. Yeah,
redraft. I feel like redraft, of course, but
what do you think you could get? Sorry, Matt, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
What do you think it would take to get
Nico?
With like a Garrett Wilson, what? Like if you had Garrett Wilson, you couldn't do a straight up with Garrett Wilson. What else do you think, say, added on to Garrett Wilson for Nico?
Ooh, see, that's the thing. I don't know if you got to do that.
I don't even know if you do in some leagues. I think you can trade it straight up.
Yeah, it would be ballsy right now to trade Garrett Wilson straight up for Nico Collins in a lot of people's eyes. It sounds like we're sitting here saying do it though. I feel like I would do that.
If somebody would offer me Nico or somebody would trade me Nico for Garrett Wilson, I think I would, mainly because you got a longer for sure thing and guy. I mean, it's just more security there, and
yeah,
I don't think he has more talent than Wilson, but he's the hot right now. So,
I mean, it wasn't just right now neither. He was like the wide receiver 15 last year and missed a couple games. So, I mean, he's been on a trend up since the very beginning of last year. So,
yeah,
I think Nico, he's definitely top 10. And I don't even think I'm overreacting.
What about Nico compared to Rashee Rice? Do you got who's higher? Dynasty.
It would be Nico.
Really?
It would be Nico. But Rice is he's another one that's risen up the rankings. Like, I'd much rather, I had him ranked wide receiver 21 behind T. Higgins, Michael Pittman and stuff, Roma Dunze. I think I would take Rice over Drake London. I would take Rice over, probably Garrett Wilson. I just think that Rashee Rice is the new Travis Kelce for the Chiefs. I mean, he's the middle of the field, and you just can't stop that crossing route. He's not averaging, but like he's averaging the most yards after the catch in the league, but he's only receiving the ball about 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage every time. But you're talking hella targets. I mean, I don't have the target list off my head, but I would think that Rashee Rice is in the top 5 in targets this season.
He's had 29 targets.
How many receptions? Probably like 25.
Yeah.
20 receptions.
How many?
24 receptions on 20 targets.
Yeah.
300
That's
yards.
Short A-dot right there, man. That short A-dot is just like,
yeah,
you're catching damn near everything. And then, like I said, yards after catch, he's leading the league right now.
Yeah, he's got 12. I think.
Yeah.
I might be wrong on that.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to think, well, where's Rashee Rice then? So are we acting like we talk about
top 10?
Dude, y'all want to talk about something crazy? Let's talk about where I got Rashee Rice. Let's see.
in a rookie draft?
Yes, sir. I got him pick number. It was the 2-7.
Yeah, I was about to say mid to late second round, probably.
Yeah, I got Jahmyr Gibbs, C.J. Stroud, Rashee Rice, Dalton Kincaid, and Sam Laporta all in that draft.
That's just ridiculous. Talk about just having a perfect draft.
That's great.
Oh, shit.
So, all right, then. So, we talking Rashee Rice top 12 then. All right, then. So, moving
top 10.
on up. Top 10 is what we're saying. You know,
Well,
at the end of the year,
let me get your opinion on it. Like, I mean, I had Tyreek ranked at number 9, and that was based on because I think that he was the number 1 receiver coming into the season. But with the injury right now, like you got to take away a lot of Tyreek Hill because of the fact that he's not going to help you win this year the way you thought he was. So, I mean, I would trade Tyreek Hill this season for Rashee Rice
You'd be lucky if you could get Rashee
in a
Rice.
redraft.
Oh, redraft. Yeah, still same.
I offered a trade the other day, Tyreek for Malik Nabers in redraft.
got rejected, didn't it?
Yeah.
Of course it did.
That was before last game, too.
Okay. So what can you get for Tyreek? What do you think the limit is like?
In a redraft?
Yeah, like what receiver? We'll just say a straight up receiver. How I mean Jayden Reed for Tyreek? Even?
I think it depends on where you're at in redraft. If you're 0-3, I think you could take less because you need points like now. And Tyreek's still going to score. I mean, he's not going to be like the worst. He's not going to be a flex option. He's going to be probably like a wide receiver 2 with backup quarterbacks. But, I mean, if you think Tua's coming back after 4 or 5 weeks and you're 2-1, I would just hold and just pull out some wins. And then if Tua comes back, then you still got like a top 5 wide receiver in redraft after that. So I wouldn't panic. But if you're like 0-3, I would trade him for like probably, like I said, Malik Nabers, Nico for sure.
Well, what I'm saying,
I would trade him for Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice probably as far as I go. And Marvin Harrison.
If I had any of those players, I'm not trading you for Tyreek.
If you were 3-0, I mean, sometimes you got to look forward to the future too. Like it depends on what Tua's going to do. Also, like that's a risk you got to take in redraft. But in redraft, man,
in my opinion, I don't think Tua's coming back. That's another thing that I'm in on too. I'm like, Tyreek
He's definitely coming back. He's just gonna go through protocol and he's gonna be right back.
They need to win some games. If they win some more games, the more likely he comes back. If they keep losing, the more likely he stays out longer.
I picked them to lose this week. All right, listen, let's slide it over. I got another topic I want to talk about because I was watching on what is today? So I guess I was watching on Monday Night Football. Jayden Daniels. I wanted to get y'all's opinion on this dude.
24 CJ Stroud.
I mean, I'm not saying he's looking like that, but I mean, he's definitely caught me off guard. I know really here's my opinion on Jayden Daniels. I started thinking about it is he's really going to develop pretty fine because Kingsbury's going to have him in that little college offense or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Air raid college. He's going to be throwing the ball. He's going to be slinging it. And pretty much
a lot of sideline shit, man. A lot of screen passes, a lot of not a lot of high,
right?
Like high. What am I trying to say? Like a lot of deep passes
until he's got to put in the basket to Terry McLaurin in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, so
that throw was crazy,
dude. That throw is pure talent,
and it lost me the week too. Fucking Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, see that right there.
0.3 points, Matt. 0.3 points because of Terry McLaurin.
That's just crazy, man. But that's what I'm saying though. I think he'll develop like that, and then whenever they're ready to take the step up as a team or organization, Kingsbury will be gone, and then they'll bring in a new offensive coordinator, and then they'll take off. I'm just asking right now though, Jayden Daniels, what is this dude's upside? Like, I feel like he is what we want out of like Anthony Richardson or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's what you want out of Bryce Young. He's what you want out of Caleb.
Yeah, like this dude's actually doing it, and I wasn't even like super high on him coming in. You know what I'm saying? Like I ranked him 3. I thought he could be a Justin Fields. Man, nothing. I'm just not thinking like that at all. I'm wondering when we do our dynasty ranking episodes in the summer. I'm starting to wonder where the fuck I'm about to put him. He might be up there pretty high.
Yeah, he should be up there high. He should already jump Anthony Richardson in dynasty rankings. I mean,
yes,
I definitely think he should. They both have the same kind of rushing upside, and Jayden Daniels is just a much better passer. And one thing I look for, like, not trying to overreact, because it was an island game where all eyes were on Jayden Daniels that night. If it would have been played at 1 o'clock on a Sunday, I mean, maybe it's getting overlooked a little bit and people aren't overreacting. But
Yes, agreed.
But I think that what I've seen that I like the most about him is he seems comfortable, like, in the pocket. And when he escapes the pocket, it doesn't look like he's flustered. He still hasn't thrown an interception this year. Anthony Richardson's done thrown like 6 or 7 of them. So I just like the composure, and I think he's made for, NFL football. I think he's going to be good for the long run as long as he can stay healthy. And I mean, I'm not going to jump the gun and say he belongs up there with the top guys, but I mean, you could definitely put him up there with like Jordan Love and Dak Prescott and guys like this. And I think that's kind of where he belongs right now. I wouldn't put him up there with, I mean, Joe Burrow would probably be the biggest controversy. If y'all,
What about CJ? What about CJ?
No, I'd say let's take Stroud over Jayden.
Okay.
What about Burrow though, Ian?
I think oh man, that's a good one. I think I'll take Burrow. I mean, I think I'll take Jayden Daniels over Burrow, just because the injury history and the kid's young and he's got good ground movement, and it just Burrow's so questionable right now. Anybody who's had him, it's been hard to start him because you ain't been able to start him. So I think if I had the choice between the two, I would take Jayden Daniels right now. Right now, I might be saying something different at the end of the year.
I think I agree with Ian on that one.
I think I'd take Burrow.
If you could take Burrow and trade it for Daniels plus,
you couldn't do plus. You think?
I don't know. I mean, people still love Joe Burrow.
Jaden's gonna have some down games. I mean, we just seen his upside. Like last week was his upside, and I mean, he's gonna have some games where he's gonna put up 10 fantasy points and just have a stinker of a game because, I mean, God forbid something happened to Terry McLaurin. They don't have anybody. Like Brian Robinson's a good running back, but as far as weapons go, he's not throwing to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Like he's throwing to Terry McLaurin and Luke McCaffrey and Diami Brown and shit, So if you're going to buy Jayden, he's going to have some clunkers. Like he's going to have some games where, teams might be getting a little frustrated. I mean, not too frustrated in a rookie quarterback, but definitely cheaper than what he is right now. Don't go buy him right now.
Let me ask you this, you guys this. I want to tell y'all some stats, and you tell me the quarterback. How about that? 8 passing touchdowns.
8?
8 passing touchdowns, 657 yards, and 2 interceptions.
8 passing touchdowns, 650 yards. Sam Darnold?
That's the mother. Where? What? 27 years old. Like, how do y'all feel about Sammy D? Like, is he making a resurgence? I mean, he's the number 3 quarterback in fantasy points right now. I think we need to talk about him.
Matt?
Yeah, look. Hold on, I'm just writing his name down. Sam Darnold. Listen, this is what I was saying, and I had him in Doo-Doo Dynasty, and I just picked him up, and then I just sold him for a second before the season even started, which I'm fine with even now. I'm good with that, you know what I'm saying? But now that he's sitting there going off, it's like, damn, man. I mean, I wouldn't mind having him for a championship run for some depth, and I also wouldn't mind trying to sell him for 2 seconds or a late first or something like that. So his stock went way up, but I'm going a little bit further, man. I think he might be here to stay. I hate to say it. I mean, am I really about to be like this?
That's what I'm thinking.
He could fall off. But I'm thinking this dude might ride it out all year. I mean, he's had a lot of reps.
Smith?
I'll tell you what his future is.
Go ahead.
We're gonna look into the crystal ball here.
Kraft's crystal ball. That's a new segment.
Yeah, Kraft's crystal ball. I think Sam Darnold has overperformed. I think they're going to come back down to reality. He's going to be a middle-of-the-pack quarterback where I do think the Vikings are going to be better than what I expected them to be. I thought they were going to finish 4th in the division. They're definitely not doing that. The Bears are going to finish 4th, and the Vikings are going to give a run, give a run for the division and be pretty good. But I think that his future is that he finishes this year with the Vikings. He plays pretty well. J.J. McCarthy sits in the wings, and Sam Darnold might play, half of next year, something like that. And then I think Sam Darnold ends up being one of these bridge quarterbacks like Derek Carr has in the past, where he's going to go to like shitty teams who need a quarterback.
Yeah. And I think it's the thing that could have happened for McCarthy.
Oh, for sure. Like if McCarthy stayed healthy, if he wasn't even hurt right now, he wouldn't be playing anyway. I mean, the Vikings fans got to be happy with what they see out of Sam Darnold anyway. So that's what I think is he's gonna revive his career, and then he's gonna be a Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like I thought the same thing with Kirk Cousins, dude. I was like when he left the Redskins, I was like he went to Minnesota. I was like he's gonna go to Minnesota and he's gonna play like shit. And he didn't. And they gave him $40 million a year or something. At the time, it was an exuberant contract. And I'm wondering if it's not going to be a repeat, I mean, it's kind of looking like it right now. It's way too overreaction zone right now. But, I mean, it does look good. I don't know, man. He had great talent coming out. He got humbled. Kind of like a Baker Mayfield thing going on. I mean, I feel like we've got all these.
Baker's a good comparison. Yeah.
There's a really good change of the guard going on because we had our Roethlisbergers, our Tom Brady's, our Russell Wilson's in his prime, all these great quarterbacks that were just top of the line. And we had all these young guys coming in, and a lot of them say Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield and a bunch of those guys got overhyped and nothing happened, but they got humbled. And Zach Wilson, we're still yet to see, but he's another one that comes to mind. And maybe this is like his resurgence. Maybe this is like, welcome to the NFL. I got messed up. I'm in a new place. I'm starting over. And I think Baker found his home, and maybe this is Sam Darnold's home.
I like that comparison because Baker was kind of like, at the start of last year, it was like, when is this going to end? Like, I think his contract was 1 year, $10 million when he signed with the Bucks.
Wow.
And then he played a full year. It was good. And then they signed him to like a 3-year deal or something like that, Matt.
Yeah. And locked him down. I would say the only difference is the Vikings just drafted a quarterback in the first round.
But
true.
And I'll say this, I just think Sam Darnold might push him a little bit. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying
they're not going to itch to put him in. Like if Sam Darnold plays to like just say Baker Mayfield's, like the way Baker Mayfield's been playing, do you think they're going to rush J.J. McCarthy in? Like when does he even see the field?
Yeah, I
don't think he should see the field unless Darnold gets injured. I think that's the only reason he should see the field. Honestly, I mean
he's out all season anyway this year, so.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like next year. But we're 3 games in. I mean, Sam Darnold could come out this week and throw 3 interceptions.
He could. All right, crap. I'm going to switch it up to another main topic that I wanted to talk about. And this is going to be a little bit of redraft and dynasty. I want to know what you think, period. Tight ends, bro. These motherfucking tight ends ain't shit. We've been saying it for a while. And before the season, this was the year to get you one of those elite tight ends. This was the year to do it. Heck, I did it. And the only one that I'm, Trey McBride, I would say I'm happy with him. But now he's out, got a concussion. So it's like, these tight ends, I'm starting to wonder about the strategy of them redraft and strategy of them dynasty. I'm just wondering if it's, let's just go to redraft. I feel like you probably feel really good if you just faded tight end and was maybe picked you up a Conklin in the whatever rounds if you just streaming it, because ain't none of these tight ends doing nothing anyways. You know what I mean, Craftman? I mean, Travis Kelce going as your tight end too. That's just ridiculous. Nobody should ever be doing that. Who
Well,
did that?
tight
Ian,
end-
you got Travis Kelce, don't you?
Of course
Yeah.
not. Of course not.
Go ahead, Craig.
I think the if you look at tight ends right now, the tight end landscape it's dire straits. Like you're pretty much happy with Pat Freiermuth. I mean Cole Kmet. Like Ian's talking about starting Cole Kmet over Mark Andrews, and it's a valid ass question.
Yeah.
But my thing is offenses take longer to figure out at the start of the season. They don't play preseason anymore. The first 3 weeks of the NFL season is pretty much your preseason. And I think that all these big name tight ends are the best buy lows in redraft and dynasty right now because the numbers are going to start rising up. Passing touchdowns are going to start going up. We're all in gambling. We're hitting on all the unders right now. At week 10 and on, we're probably going to be hitting a lot of overs. And tight ends, they're just going to get in the end zone more. That's what you want out of tight ends. They're your red zone. They're your red zone threats. They're, you got Mark Andrews at like 35 yards on Prize Picks right now. I mean, that's freaking insane. 35 yards from Mark Andrews. And I think there's going to be a couple busts. I want to talk on Mark Andrews just for a second because I feel like I know the reason he's struggling is because the Baltimore offensive line is terrible.
Terrible.
Mark Andrews ran 4 routes last week. That's it, 4. Because Dallas's pass rush, they were scared of it. Their game plan was, we leave Mark Andrews to block. The same thing that Sam Fran does with George Kittle on occasion. And you're going to have to pick your matchups with him. But I think tight ends are going to figure it out as the season goes along. They're going to, passing touchdowns are going to go up. A lot of them are going to go to tight ends. And I'm not real worried about the top guys. But compared to where they were drafted at to where you can get them now, it's just a steal.
It's immeasurable. Yeah, it's immeasurable for sure. I mean, I'm actually thinking about because I drafted Evan Ingram. I drafted Evan Ingram in our Yahoo league, and I've been streaming tight ends since the beginning of the season, dude. And I'm thinking right now after hearing that, what do I do? Do I try to go get like Mark Andrews right now for a steal, or do I wait on Ingram, or what can I get for Ingram? Like what? I got Conklin right now. I had Henry last week. He got me 1.46 points. I mean, I don't know what to do, man.
I think the tight end that I want the most in redraft, if I could go back and just choose any tight end I want, it might be Jake Ferg.
Jake Ferg or Brock Bowers.
Bowers. I'm taking Bowers.
But Bowers is impossible to get,
Yeah, you can't get Bowers.
But no, you go back and get any of them. I'm taking Bowers over Ferg.
Like I got McBride and Average Joe's. If I might go hit up old Jake Ferg and just be like, I give you Jake Ferg, give me Jake Ferg and something.
Yeah, how long is
McBride?
What'd you say, Ian?
How long is McBride supposed to be out?
I think just this week. I think it's just a concussion type deal. But
I think it's a good buy low opportunity to trade like a wide receiver 3 or a flex option. Take I wanted to say Brian Thomas, but he's got some upside. But take a Darnell Mooney or one of these flex guys, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and trade him for Trey McBride or try to do. You're going to probably piece something together to do that, but you're going to get them at the cheapest price in redraft and in dynasty probably right now. And like I said, I mean, we've been watching probably every game every Sunday, and shit, scoring's down, man. Like these teams are not fucking scoring, and it's going to change. So tight ends are going to be the main beneficiary to that. I mean, we can talk about the top end wide receivers; they're not performing either. No. So none of the passing game guys are performing. Quarterback ain't performing.
You know who is performing?
Sam Darnold.
No. What position?
Who?
Running back.
Thanks.
Yep. At the start of the season, they are going to perform, and
thanks. They perform all year long.
I mean, Matt, don't you think it's correlated where we got Sam Darnold as a QB1 right now in redraft, and we're talking about tight ends being so bad? quarterbacks are being just as bad as tight ends. We're just not hearing about it because, there's nothing you can do except for start Patrick Mahomes every week.
But when it comes to McBride, I don't think I'd try to sell him, especially not in Dynasty. I'd fucking sit on it.
Yeah,
I'm wondering then. Well, I'm just thinking, what about Dynasty then? Trade one of those guys to downgrade to like a Jake Ferguson at a first. Kincaid for Jake Ferg at a first. I mean, that sounds ideal almost.
You're gonna have to wait for Kincaid to pop off.
You
McBride can't do it.
No.
Can't do any of Laporta. You can't do
Well,
Laporta.
maybe.
Even though
I mean,
he
it
denies.
depends. It definitely depends where the first is at. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely do it for. If you think the first is gonna be early, you can trade an early first for, a tight end. Any of those tight ends.
Can't trade Kelsey or Andrews, no matter what.
Never.
Them guys are stuck.
No, you can't, because you're just losing. You're just losing completely if you do that, because you're gonna take just the worst deal imaginable to get rid of Kelsey, and it's just not worth it. I'd rather just sit and hold and see if things change.
Same.
Yep, I think I might be with you. So the answer tonight, we broke it down, and the strategy for tight ends is to hold. And Crabman says that
and to try to buy low. Yeah, try to buy low.
Hold and buy low. That's what I'm saying. All right. So I was asking questions, wondering if you should try to downgrade, but it sounds like you should just try to hold. I'm with you.
Yeah. Even back, like one more question about maybe trading Sam Laporta. I got Laporta. If I have Jake Ferguson, I don't think right now I'm wanting to trade for Sam Laporta.
Yeah, that's what buy low is all about, though. Is you take Jake Ferguson, you trade for Laporta.
Probably wouldn't want to throw in that first, maybe, if you could.
Look, yeah,
I think is even a stretch, but yeah, you're right. I mean that buy low. I mean, so you think Laporta's going to overall through his career, whatever, is going to be better than Ferguson?
Man, you talking to the Jameson Williams guy right here. And I do think Jameson Williams is going to have a massive effect on Sam Laporta. I would be worried about Sam Laporta. That's one. Mark Andrews, I'm worried about. Like, in like a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like at an 8 with Andrews because he's blocking too much. And with Laporta, with Jameson Williams doing his thing, I'm like at a 7 out of 10 with Laporta because he's going to be more touchdown dependent now.
I'm not worried about Laporta at all. If he's healthy, he's starting, he's balling. He's going to get his hit, and he's going to score some TDs.
I mean, Matt knows I've been on Jameson for a while.
Yep, been on him, man. I've clowned him for years.
Dude,
paying off a little bit.
I was on him last year. One of my bus picks was Amon-Ra. I was like, I think Jameson's going to come in and steal Amon-Ra's fucking work. And that was last year, but he didn't come back last year. So I was on Jameson too while we playing. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Where we at?
Well, shoot. Crap, man. This is what I was going to say. Thursday Night Football, I had a perfect night. I hit on that Dallas -4.5. And on that pod, crap, man, what did I say? I said, I don't know if you listened to it, but I did say I got the Cowboys at -4.5. But if they're up to 6 or whatever it was at the time, I said I would stay away from it. Man, that was just spot on analysis. So,
hey, I listen to it. I listen to it every time you do it. And I'm like, man, Matt just sounds like such a genius right here. Taking all our picks. Doing that. We need to start hitting on them over-unders, though. If you listen to the gambling episodes, we have had a lot of high risk, high reward over-under plays. If we, just put in our ones we feel like are super safe, I feel like we'd be hitting at a higher rate. But, I know I hit at a good rate. I just never win no damn money because I always get like 3 out of 4 on a parlay every fucking time. I'll have 5 parlays set in the same day and hit 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. I miss if I just did them damn flex plays, I could put some money in, but I want the big bucks. You know,
I'm with you.
be
I'm with
pissing
you,
me
but
off, man.
We
God,
still shooting in the mid 40% on the over and unders, and then on the game lines, we're at 57%, and we're killing that shit. And we already got a dub going into week 4, so hopefully looking for a good week. Basically, everybody check out our gambling stuff. But since we we got Ian on with us tonight, and they were talking divisions and playoffs and stuff. I mean, we are already through 3 weeks. We're in week 4. So what y'all thinking, fellas, about what the NFL looks like right now?
Well, that's a good question. I can start by just giving you our list of what me and Austin decided was going to be division winners and wild
after
card.
week 1.
This was after week 1. Yeah, this was after week 1. We made this list. So I'm gonna start with Austin's list. So AFC North, he had the Ravens winning. AFC East, Bills. AFC West, Chiefs. AFC South, Texans. Wild card, he has Pittsburgh, the Jags, and the Jets.
The Jags. Oh God.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and cancel out the fucking Jags.
Pittsburgh was a good take, and I think the rest of them, I think they're still good. The Ravens are questionable right now, but all right. So NFC, you had the Lions in the North, the Cowboys in the East. NFC West, you had the 49ers. The South was the Bucks. For your 3 wild cards, you had Packers, Eagles, and Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
And then we even went as far as to take Super Bowl predictions. So Austin's Super Bowl prediction was the AFC Chiefs, NFC was the Lions, and the Lions to win it all.
And that sucks coming from a Packers fan.
And that I was so upset. I was so upset at him. I didn't even want to write it down.
Yeah,
But
the Bills look the best right now, but I know what happens when it gets into the playoffs. Like when it comes and you see that Bills Chiefs matchup on AFC Championship weekend, it's like
right.
I think the Chiefs are probably going to win.
Of course. How can you not? All right, so we're going to move over to mine right quick. And then after I do mine, Matt's going to pick his. And I'm going to write them down too. And we're 4 weeks in when Matt does his. So we're going to see the difference at the end of the year.
His is going to look a lot smarter than ours.
It is.
Yes,
it's probably going to be much better.
No Jacksonville Jaguars in there.
Yeah. All right, so
no.
AFC North, I had the Ravens. AFC West, Chiefs. East, Bills. South, Texans. Same as Austin. But wild cards, I had Chargers, Jets, and Colts. So I still feel good about the Chargers and the Jets. Colts, that's going to be questionable. All right, now NFC. I took the Packers to win the division in the North. Not just biased, just I see it. I think they're going to be better than the Lions this year. NFC East, I had Dallas. The West, I had San Fran. And the South, I also had the Bucks. But with the wild card hits, this is where I fucking balled out. Because I picked the Saints, Detroit to win the wild card. I mean, I can't put them all the way out like that. And then I also pulled Seattle. So I got 2 3-0 teams in my wild card right now. Just saying. And then my Super Bowl picks were the Bills in the AFC, San Francisco for the NFC, and then San Fran winning it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and say off the top of the dome, before the season starts, I put my only futures bet. It was for the Packers to win the Super Bowl. And I'm going to stick with that the whole way through. And this is before Jordan Love and all that, but still Packers is who I have, period. So I would definitely pick them to win the division. And I do like the Lions, so they would definitely be a wild card for me. Then the South, I would say the Bucks. East, I'd say Philly.
All right, hold on. All right, so I'm going to write this down. So let's go in order. What you got for the AFC North?
I'm going to be real. I'm going to say Pittsburgh.
All right.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh in the North. Hey, I told you that Bengals defense was garbage ass before the season started.
Pittsburgh is that gambling automatic. I love putting them on the money line.
And the unders.
AFC South. What you got AFC South?
Houston.
Yeah, it's definitely Houston.
Yeah, that one's too easy.
All right. What you got in the West?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go. I think I might go.
Don't.
I think I might go. L.A. The Rams.
Okay.
In the AFC West? AFC West.
Oh, my bad. AFC West. Oh, my dumb ass. Don't do drugs, kids.
You got the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
The
The
Broncos.
Chiefs. And then the AFC East, I got the Bills.
Right.
And then
AFC East. We're going Bills.
When you were thinking about the AFC West, I was like, what is he fucking thinking about? Is he
I
about to say
know.
the Chargers or the Raiders? Like, no way.
I am gonna say Rams though for the NFC
Oh wait,
West.
we gotta get the wild card. We gotta do your wild cards. Hold on.
There's no way you think the Rams are going to win with all their offensive line and their wide receivers.
They just beat San Fran, and they'll get healthy eventually.
All right, we got to do the AFC wild cards first. You get 3 wild card teams.
Man, I don't even know. Baltimore,
Falcons.
No, we're in the AFC.
Oh shit, my bad. Don't drink beer, kids.
So you still got hold on, let me find
yeah, who am I missing? I know there's somebody out there. Go ahead and throw the Cardinals. Oh no, that's NFC too. Yeah, don't drink beer.
All right, so we still got the Jets, the Dolphins, the Patriots, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Tennessee, Jacksonville. Jets, Miami, England.
I guess slide the Jets up in there. You're gonna have to slide the Jets in there.
All right.
Baltimore Jets and then
Jets. Yep.
I like this game.
You still got Cleveland, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Tennessee, and Jacksonville. You also got the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. New England, Miami.
Good Lord, just say Miami.
Hey, the Colts don't look so bad now, Ian.
I know, right? What the fuck? All right, yeah, just put Miami down for me then. But I don't believe in that. I don't really know. That one's tough.
There's always that one team that gets in the playoffs that don't deserve to be there.
Right.
Always, no, actually, there's 75% chance. Like, usually the teams, anyways, we ain't gonna talk about it. So, NFC North.
Yeah, look, Packers, and go ahead and put Detroit as a wild card since we're thinking about them.
All right.
What about Minnesota?
Oh man, we'll come back to them. Put them on the standby list.
It can be 3. They can be. You can have all the whole division. You can have the whole division, bro. All right.
I know it.
The South. Who you got in the South?
The Bucks.
Buccaneers. Who you got in the West?
The Rams. Go ahead, put the Cardinals on my wild card list.
Hold on.
And put the 49ers on them. Yeah, there's my wild cards right there. That's my 3 wild
East.
cards.
Give me your East first. NFC East, you got Washington, Philly. Philly.
So Washington's not a wild card team for none of us.
No.
Philly.
That NFC is stacked.
So you want your wild card. So you said you want the Lions?
Lions, Cardinals, and Niners.
Lions, Cardinals, and Bears. Oh my.
Let's go. And my Super Bowl picks is Green Bay and Kansas City. Green Bay wins. Knocking them off. Money.
Lions, Cardinals, and Bears. Wait, did I make that up?
No, Lions, Cardinals, and Niners.
The Bears ain't going. The Bears ain't gonna be sniffing them playoffs. None.
No, it doesn't shit.
Oh, your Super Bowl pick.
Yep, Kansas City and Green Bay, but Green Bay's my pick to win it all.
KC.
But shoot.
Bay.
Well,
okay. I like it.
All right, well, shoot, that pretty much wraps up that episode tonight. But Craftman, anything to say? I mean, we keep on. I say it all the time. Check out our gambling every Thursday. We winning money. We out there doing that thing. We putting in a lot of work on this stuff too. I'll say this right now. As far as the product that our podcast is putting out, the best it's ever been. as far as the quality and all that stuff. Some good substance stuff, and we're making money and we're doing it. Craft man, what you say, man?
Hey, I totally agree with this is the best we've ever been on the podcast. I mean, we worked through some stuff going on as we, at the very beginning, and shit, it was still good, and it was fun as shit.
Terrible.
No, get the fuck out of here. It was great. It was. I actually say it was better than now. It was. This is the worst we've ever been. Like, get the hell out of here. That shit at the beginning, we were like probably 10 shots deep when we were going into this podcast at the beginning. So
pulling up with the Jack Daniels right beside that man, just chugging them things.
You could just hear the slurs in the podcast, like
but yeah. No doubt, though. We've been putting in that work. No doubt. Swizzy putting in the work. Big Dunk been pulling up to the pod. And Pate Poopa. Shout out to Noah Dick Blower, too. Been putting in that work for us, too. Got a team. We got a squad. That's how we roll.
I really appreciate having me on. Yeah, man. I think you were about to ask me. But, I always appreciate y'all having me on, dude. And I'm super proud of both of you for sticking to it and doing this thing. I know we just do it just because we love doing it, and y'all just do it in front of a microphone. And it's really cool to be a part of it, and I hope it goes a long way. You're doing way better, and I mean, the sky's the limit, guys. So let's keep talking the fake shit.
Yeah, and I agree. It's definitely all about the fake stuff. But yeah, shoot. Hey, check out the Discord. Been on the Discord trying to put in that work. We're gonna start trying to build some of this stuff up. But hey, me and Swizzy been putting in that work too. Might try to slide back on YouTube and get that junk rolling.
Yeah,
streaming again more often than what we used to. But we definitely got some ideas cooking.
They'd like to see a pretty face on that YouTube, man.
I look good right now. I look good. Oh man, but shoot, man. But listen, thanks for listening to the podcast. 5-star review. Tell a friend about the show. I think that's about it. So we out.
Peace.